Hello guys, this is Diego Lizarazo, and I'm bringing another video for the 10 Minutes with Construct 2 series. This time I'm going to be talking about sharing elements between projects, and this is something that is really useful, especially when you have like different projects and you want to put objects, plugins, animations between one and the other project. You don't have to recreate your entire project just to use something that you created in another one. So let's get to it. Well, if you're like me, quite likely you have created several games or experiments with Construct 2, and then you would like to perhaps merge them or use pieces of some of the games in another game. Now, usually you don't really have kind of like an easy way to do it. There's nothing that is telling you right away how to do it. And let's say that right now I have two games here. This one is basically just a template that I use to put my menu, my objects, everything that makes a full polished game. And this one that has some of the game mechanics of another game that I'm going to modify. Now let's suppose that I want to move this entire object, that is the player, that I haven't selected here. If I want the image, the sprite itself, I could recreate it here on the other game that is almost blank, or I could try to copy it. Now, the only problem that you're going to have copying between projects in Construct 2 is going to be about the names. If you're going to copy something from one project to the other one, you have to make certain that in the destination you don't have any object that is named the same as this one. So in this case I know that there is nothing called player, right? And then I can put it over here. So let's do that. I just have to pick the object here on the layout, the one that I'm going to copy. I just press Ctrl C, or I even could say with the right click, and just say copy, and then go to the new project and say paste, or directly, well, Ctrl B. So then it's going to ask me where, and I just put it here. So this one works perfect. That means that the object, the entire object that I had there, that was, well, a sprite, is going to be copied here. That means not only that I have the images, I also have the behaviors that you can see here. This one had a platform behavior, but I also have the entire animations, so group that I have here. So in this one, for example, that is a running animation, you can see that I have all the frames, so I don't have to recreate that. Now, if I run this game right away, we're going to see the new sprite in action. So let me do that. And I think you saw him here. This is our little sprite that is called player now, that has the entire animation, running animation, and it has the platform behavior. So that works perfect for objects to move from one to the other. Now, what happens if we want also the logic, the events that are affecting the player here? How do I move them from the original project to this one? So it's basically the same thing. We just can find here something, in this case this event, and I can copy paste from this one to the other one. So I'm just going to say Ctrl C, I go to the other project, I want that in this game sheet, and I say copy paste. So you see that right now I don't really have much of a problem. To test this one, I'm going to also copy another element from the original game, that is this this one, that is basically the floor, and that way our little animation is going to be able to run on top of that one. So let's do that. I go here, I paste it, and then with this behavior, with this event, I'm sorry, that I just copied here, then our little animation, our little sprite, should be able to run on top of it. So let's try it. And you can see that because I copied this and it had this solid behavior and bullet, then it's working perfectly. So this is obviously just an example. I will have to do many adjustments here. Now, things that you have to consider. When I talk about events, copying events from one to the other and names, then you have to consider that what happens if I want to copy events that are affecting objects that we don't have in the other project. For example, if I try to copy this entire block, in the other project I don't have anything named skull, and quite likely I don't have the web storage, or I don't have anything named tile background. So if I repeat the process, that is Control C, and then I go to my other project that is over here, and I try to paste it, it gives me an error, and you can tell that the entire thing is telling me that there's nothing named tile background. So one of the things that you have to make certain is that you copy all the elements that you want from your origin game to your destination to be able to copy the events. If you don't have the same objects and if you don't have the same plugins included, then you're going to have errors, or you're not going to be able to copy everything. So let me try to copy the things that I want. So for example, the tile background, I'm going to try to copy it in my original project. Let's say here. And then quite likely I'm going to move it to the background, so something like this. And I'm almost certain that I also will need the skull, so I'm going to put it here. So you have it there. And I'm going to try to copy it again. Quite likely I'm going to miss something, so but still we can try it. Oh no, basically I had everything else. So the only two things that I was missing was the tile background and the skull. When I added them to my destination, when I copy from the origin here, then that means that Construct is going to know, like, hey, I have an event that is affecting the skull. I have an event that is, well, an action in this case, and also one that is affecting the tile background, and now I know how to link them. So let's try it again and see how it works. So you see, now we're kind of like getting pieces from one to the other. Of course, to be able to make it work correctly, I also would have to copy all the other events. And if you copy first all the objects to your destination, then you would be able to copy even like big blocks. You can select with Control big blocks of events, and then could try to paste it on the other project. Quite likely I'm not going to be able to do it right away because I have too many elements in this one. But that would be the way to use some templates. That would be the way to use the templates that come with Sira or from Sira, or the ones that I've created and I've shown you before. And then you can move pieces from one to the other. What happens when you have elements that have the same name in between projects and you try to copy? To illustrate what happens, I created this sprite that is called Zombie and does not have any behaviors. On the other project, we do have an element here that is a zombie and it has a platform behavior. So let's suppose that I pick this one, I repeat the process, Control C, and I try to copy it here, and I say Control B. It's going to ask me where do you want it, but it's going to copy this one. It's not really going to bring all the information that I had from the original element, the original zombie, the one that I wanted. And it's because of the names, because they are named exactly the same. So zombie here and zombie here. So that's not going to work. So let's suppose that I want to bring this zombie with its behaviors and everything else that I had in the original project. Then I'm going to go here and I'm going to rename this one, and I'm going to say like zombie 2, whatever, or well, see, zombie 2, and then I'm going to try again, copy this zombie and then copy it here, and this time it works. So like I said before, you have to be careful with the names of the things that you are bringing. So if they are repeated in the projects, in between projects, then you will have to rename something to bring the correct things. And at the same time, with the events, you have to make certain that all the elements that we are talking about on the event itself or the actions exist in your destination. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to copy them. But apart from that, you can just Control C, Control B, copy paste in between projects without a problem. I hope this video was helpful. I know that I saved a lot of time when I figured out this for the first time, and now I use it almost with every project. I use some of my own templates and just add or modify things and copy between projects here and there. So, well, I hope that you liked it, and if you have any questions, you have my contact here. You can also comment on my video, and well, let me know what else do you like me to check, and let me know. Thank you.